Hello and welcome back to National Busways West Scotland, here at the Paisley Garage, just west of Glasgow, where we're looking at a couple of the B7L Wright Eclipse Metros that are used on the Orbit 107 between Renfrew and Barhead. Because we are here to do something quite big, and that is to finally, how long since we started building out the Orbit? To finally close the circuit. I did a map expansion up north, so now we have Old Kilpatrick, Dundalk, Faifley, Hardgate, Milngavie, and out east we have Kirkintilloch, Lenzie, and Cumbernauld. This map expansion did so much, and you know, so I'm quite excited. So, the orbit routes that we have left needed this map expansion, because the orbit routes we have left are the 102, which starts down here in Clydebank, follows the 151 and 152 through Drumchapel, then we'll go either this way or this way, I've still not decided, through Bearsden, turning off at Bearsden Cross and going up into Milngavie. Then the 103 will start from a loop of Faifley, probably a clockwise loop, down through Bearsden, down Summerston Road, through Cadder, and across to Milton. And that will create a circuit that you could do from Bearsden to Bearsden, with a fair amount of loose ends here in this is the west, here in the west, with the 107, 102 and 103. The actual loop is everything that you can do from the 108 and east. So, it's 23:55 on a Sunday, the game is paused, but I want to launch this for Monday morning. Why have I suddenly zoomed in all the way? The lag kicks in, the game isn't even running. Anyway, get oranged. Copy the hex code, own bus route. Paste the hex code, and this is going to be the 102 Clydebank to Milngavie, which is spelt so differently to how it's pronounced. But post me, if you don't mind. And there is the 102 between Clydebank and Milngavie. It's quite short as an orbits route goes, but that was kind of the intention. It was basically just to bring Clydebank and Milngavie into the orbit system rather than just having one that goes to Faifley. because Clydebank and Milngavie, quite big places. Faifley, also relatively important, I believe. And also, Faifley, that road alignment onto Summerston Road is just beautiful. So, that just works. So that's going to be that. That's the 102. As per, all of the Orbit's routes will have pretty much the same timetable, every 15 minutes off peak, including on Sundays, and every 12 minutes during rush hour. Now I'm going to check Google Maps and make sure that road I sent it down to get to Bearsden Station is actually navigable by a reasonably sized vehicle. It looks fine. It looks fine. I mean, as long as this is the only frequent route that goes down it, I have no problem with that. And it will be the only frequent route that goes down that road. So every 15 and every 12. Well, every 10, call it, just so that it does show a difference. That is very manageable. So 15 to 12, Mondays to Saturdays. Sundays will obviously have reduced operating hours. And I will come back after a happy little jump cut. And the timetable for the 102 is done. So, it has a vehicle requirement of 8 or 9, depending on how you count it. So, I'm going to buy 12 buses for this one, because a lot of the Orbit routes, their allocations run very, very tight, and I don't want that to be the case with the routes from C. So that's going to go from C, and we'll activate it later. Because I want to get all the routes made, and then we can just splurge on buses. That's the idea, at least. So, hopefully, the colour code is still in my clipboard. That's what it's called. Is it clipboard? Yeah. And it is good. 52nd route of the series. This is the 103 between Faifley and Milton. So, post me, if you don't mind. Thank you very much. And the 103 is done. So the 103, it has a circular at each end, or it does a little circular at each end of the route. One in Faifley and Hardgate, and then down, it comes down through Bearsden, down on Summerston and Maryhill Road, I still don't know, this mess of everything through Cadder, then across into another mess of everything into Milton, where it does, that's clockwise, it does a clockwise loop with its terminus at Skerry Street. And then of course it goes back, and the circuit in Faifley is anti-clockwise. And I've called this Faifley Old Terminus, because we're not going to be using it. But maybe we did at one point. There's a lot of bus stop on this route, which is unfortunate. But it is about 10 miles each way, which is very nice, very chunky. So, let's get this all done. So, timetable time. Supposedly, every 60 minutes. It won't be, it'll be every 15, and we'll set that to every 10 for the purposes of the diagram. That's going to be very, very doable with a single decker, which is very nice because we're not using double deckers on the Orbit. So let's get this all done. Should be fairly obvious where the terminus is in Milton because I've done my small caps thing from last week. But as per, I will see you in the when this is all done. No time lapse, just a jump cut. There it is. Just a jump cut. See you in a bit. And the timetable for the 103 is done. It also needs 12 buses. Well, it needs 10. But I will be buying 12 buses for it, so we'll be buying 24 buses to round out the Orbit's fleet. This time, of course, from sea. We'll activate that later. And doesn't this... To be fair, you can't really see the 102 because we already covered it with the local services on this section. But you can see the 103 quite nicely. It covers a lot of Maryhill Road. And we're just missing that last bit to connect Maryhill Road in with central Glasgow, which is coming at some point. TM. Because there's this big estate here, I think it's called Balgefray, or something like that. And that's going to get a route. It's not going to be a massive cross city, but it's going to like pop out the other side and go somewhere. It might go to the Forge actually. Forge seems reasonable. It could go to, there's a hospital down here as well. Or I could do something really weird and have it go to Govan. I think Govan would be fun. You can just sort of come down and then sort of like, it slingshots. I like that. So, let's go over to C, where we currently have 13 vehicles. Which is just enough. And we'll head over to the end of the line. Marketplace, solo buses, and because C is controlled by PY, we will be buying VW B7s, not B7 RLEs, we're not in that era yet. So this is going to be the 102, or B7Ls. There we go, Orbit's B7s, and we're going to buy 10. Yes, Orbit's routes do have a PIS. good. And I'm going to import repaint, because obviously there's a repaint. That's Solent Red. Glasgow. Oh yeah, go watch the South Coast series. It's fun. Although to be fair, it's the more popular series. So I don't know why I'm telling you. You probably already are. It's set in a more modern era than this. But this is the 102. Light orange, very bright, very citrus, very demure. There's nothing demure about the offensively orange bus that is before you right now. But here we are. Naturally, it's all perfectly branded. So that's the first 10. Now I'm going to buy 2 more. 2 more. Da 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 da. 107. No. 102. You put these in the wrong vehicle group. That would have messed things up. Orbit 102. Apply. So, let's now buy the second set, the second half of the batch. This is going to be new vehicle group 103 or bits B7Ls. We can buy 10, obviously. Import repaint. And this is B7 Orbit 103. As you can see, I was planning to have 103 run out of OA, but we ran out of space there. And the 103 is blue. And I really like this blue and orange. I might use it when we leave Glasgow, because we eventually will. So, let's cross over. Here are these. Aren't they lovely? And we need to buy 2 more. So we'll buy 2 more and put them in the 103 group. Not export repaint template. Oh well. That's not affected anything, by the way. It's just made my file browser come up. B7 103. So, pause the running of the game. Look at all of these buses. This is 24 B7L Wright Eclipse Metros. For 2 routes. Naturally, because PVRs are high in Glasgow, and it's still not Monday yet, so I'm going to activate the 102 and 103, which, actually, let's zoom out. That would make sense. Let's zoom out. There's the 102. It's very short. And then the 103 is very much not short. So, activate. Come on, game, you can do it. It's just another one more route. So I've heard on the grapevine, i.e. from the club chat, the next City Bus Manager update is going to include more garages, like, you know, we can place more external garages, and that they will be able to be bigger. Which I'm very, very happy about, because at the moment I'm worried that we have 7 garages and there's the limit is 15. So I can only place another 7. And I'm nowhere near done with what I want to cover in Glasgow, let alone the West Scotland part of National Busways West Scotland. So I'm very, very, very happy to hear that I won't need to leave Cumbernauld to a potential National Busways Scotland Central or something. There will be like a Midland Bluebird type thing in the canon, but it shouldn't have to come this far south. The Central Belt should be able to be done by West Scotland and Lothian. Anyway, let's get these ready to go. So this is going to say orbit 102. Actually, I'm just going to say orbit. No, it's going to say orbit 102 because this needs to say C. And we're going to go new line. And unfortunately, the character limit, I think, will prevent me from going small size and small caps. So we're just going to have to fill it out normally. Clydebank. Ooh, I can't see what I'm typing. Clydebank to Milngavie. I don't know where the fleet number is. Because we passed 200 and I think it's at East Kilbride. But I'll work that out later. I.e. when I've gone into the jump cut. When I've disappeared into the ether, I'll work out what the fleet number should be. But this is going to be SF51. ORB, why not? Because this is the final orbit batch. And then... Nah, never mind. I had a thought, realised thought was dumb. So, I will disappear into a little jump cut, and I will see you on the other side of it. And rounding off the batch of, or the final batch of Orbit's buses is VW239, or SF51 OSA. What a colourful garage. What a colourful garage C has become. Its standard livery is on less than half of the fleet now. In fact, it's about a third of the fleet. Why does this say 107? 102, 102, 107. Oh, hello. Why do you say 107? And that is that the 102 and 103 will be set to prefer the VW class of their... or not the VW class, but the their branded vehicles. Very good. And then the 103, which is over here, edit timetable. I forgot what the button is. We'll prefer the 103's buses. Lovely. So the orbit is now done. Like, there's nothing more we need to do with the orbit. It's completely done. What a relief that must be. Let's make it daytime, and it will be Monday, and I need to sort out fleet shenanigans. So this depot, we won't have enough drivers, I guarantee it. We don't. That's where you hire staff. Sorting by friendliness. There we go, we got 102 drivers, that should be more than enough. And why are we short? I can't reset it either. Why are we short so many? Oh dear. That's not gone well. Guarantee you it's because the game is stupid. But I get the 102 entirely reallocated manually. And then, I'll take the 3 vehicle groups here in turn. Because we should have enough. The 102 needs 9. The 103 needs 10. And I have 12 vehicles for both. So, I mean, are there any... there's a few 103s actually. Oh, this isn't good. So I'll get these done off camera. Or in a little jump cut, whatever. Right, so I've bought a few extra buses and I've found a way to make the existing ones work a little bit better. Turns out the vehicle requirement for the 103 is actually 19, which is very unfortunate. But here we are. So I've got 18 buses for the 103 now, and the one that doesn't fit, the one shift that doesn't go, is just being run by a dart for now. There's no spare 102 B7s, so we're just running it with one of the little darts, and that will have to do. But the 103 is now ready for service. Just as everything is finishing up. This is a 101. The 101 runs 24 hours a day. So, very intrigued to see how this performs. Given that it's, midnight midnight on a Monday morning. It doesn't seem to be doing too badly given the time, honestly. What I'll do when this gets to the airport is just go to a, I'll just, do all the shifts from the garages that fight me. Which is mostly Polmedy. Like, everywhere else is pretty manageable, but Polmedy's fleet is so large and so varied and so tight that it's difficult. But if you assign them before the game's worked out there are problems, then it's all good. So I'm just going to go and assign all these. There's over 1,000 shift assignments on a given day, and nearly 500 of them are from Polmedy? That's actually mad. Reset Saturday. Sunday I normally just assign. Because Sunday normally just goes. And then I just need to sort out there's one 105 and one 106 that doesn't go. Which is totally fine, because I can just find them. Oh no, they're not, they're Y-Reg. So what is it, a 1205 to 1820. If I move that... Oh no, they're both 1205 to 1820, so that won't go. That's really weird. No, I know that won't go, because it fights me on 0 minutes for the orbits. But if I do that, and then I move this over and put this down, that works. Now, again, 1205 to 1820. This one will be harder to make work because I think the 105 is longer. However, I can put that there. Very nice. I can put that there and that there. Beautiful. Then I think there's some problems with Paisley, it said? Yeah, there's one of these is not happy. Which is a 108. So 12:20. It's always midday. It's always about midday that the shifts just aren't happy. Interesting that there's so many just doing one shift. I have too few bus drivers to make Paisley work. Very interesting. That's why it wasn't going, probably. So let's get drivers. 105 drivers. We don't want driver issues, and we want to have enough that drivers aren't having to come in every day. Let's see. You're happy, and you can be happy. You can be very happy. So can you, by the looks of things. $160 drivers. The number of drivers here is looking very, very good. 167. 174. Very nice. So now if I shift schedule... Hang on, that was Thursday... That was... Oh no. That was Sunday that wasn't going due to lack of drivers. Oh dear. How's that happened? Because Paisley was fine before. Assign bus drivers this depot. Assign buses this depot. And yeah, there's one that's not happy. But I can move that to there. And that to there. What do you mean it's not happy? Paisley Shed 2, I think there was another problem with. Oh, wouldn't you look at that? It's an orbit. Who would have guessed? Well, I can move that, put that there. Put that there, put that there. 1850. Oh, I could put that there, and put that there. Then what else was there? Was there missing from Hamilton? Shouldn't be. Hamilton normally goes just fine. C? No, C goes just fine on a Sunday. Interesting, because it's the same frequency. It's just peak time messing it up. Paisley... OA? It's OA. Interesting. And it's... Of course it's the 104. So let's move this 1250, put the 1200 down. Let's move this 1300 and put the 1230 down. Let's move this 1800 and put the 1250. Let's move this 1845 and put the 1300. Let's move this 1900. Put that down. That's all reasonable now. That can go there, and that can go there. Isn't that wonderful? In fact, that can go there just to give a little bit of extra time. The rest of the week is done. So now I'm going to time jump, in terms of make a jump cut, for the inaugural services of the 102 and 103. The final services in the Glasgow orbit. Right, so here is not the first 103 going, but it's one of the first. And doesn't the destination look lovely with the little clarifier down there? So, now it's time to just see how they get on. That's a 108, that's why it's starting there. I was considering extending the 108 to Baljaffrey, which is up here. Have it do a little loop like that and come back. It would need a few extra vehicles, but then that would give me an excuse to add one more to the 103 because they're the same type. So if it needs an additional, let's say, if it needs an additional 3 vehicles, I don't know why it would need 3, but let's say it needs 3, I can buy 4. If it only needs 1 additional bus, then I can buy 2. I like to buy my buses in nice numbers like that. Ooh, hello. This is a 102. It's just coming out of Clydebank in towards Hillfoot. Right, it's in Hillfoot now. And it's not doing too bad given the time. And it looks like all the buses are doing similar numbers coming the other way. The 152 is looking quite busy, but I suspect that the 102 is going to steal a lot of the 152's thunder, which is exactly as I intend. I do not want the 152 to be a busy route. It's got small buses. It's a local service. So there's a decent stand time at Drumchapel, which is good for reliability. And also good for making sure that it definitely lines up with the train. If the bus is there, you know, for 3 minutes, then hopefully it lines up with the train. Coming into Clydebank, it's not all that busy. Okay, that needs changing. I suspect the 151 is stealing the 152's thunder a little bit there, but oh well. And then just down and around. The 151 also is pretty quiet. Okay. That's certainly interesting. Let's go up to Faifley. Oh dear, why is one... They're both on time, what's happened? Maybe that's why the 103 needs so many buses. I think that's why the 103 needs so many buses. Edit timetable. Good. Why are there duplicates? It's a Monday. Only one timetable. There's no overlap. Why are there duplicates? I am so confused. Because these are both running on time. Well, you know, they're both... I'm gonna see if this doubling up is a thing. Like, we got a call from the mayor. Tuesday to Thursday. City Festival, very nice. Okay, it looks like it's just that one that's duplicated. That's so odd. This is going at 6:12. And it's not doing too bad. This part of that, you know, this part looks very sort of not densely populated, very suburban, almost rural. Like, it's that sort of place. Because we are dealing with the very edge of Glasgow here. Like, some of the orbit loop goes through quite densely populated urban areas. Some parts of the loop, like the 103, go through kind of nowhere. Because Glasgow is sort of... It's not like a circle, it's like... It's got massive chunks taken out of it where the city just sort of stops really, really close to the centre, comparatively speaking. Mostly in the north, I've found. And indeed, the 103 and 108... The 103 and 30 do get quite close to each other, which... I think speaks to how quickly the city fades away in, like, the north. But coming down through Maryhill Road, it's not Summerston Road, it's Maryhill Road. Coming down Maryhill Road, we're looking quite alright. This isn't the major service to central Glasgow, so I wouldn't expect huge numbers. This is an orbital bus route. And this is one of the nothing routes. It doesn't really go anywhere huge. So, you know, it's like, we're doing fine, we're doing well. What's not doing well are the duplicated buses. I have no idea what's up with that. Because there's nothing in the timetable that says they'll be duplicated. Although I think it would be a good feature to be able to run duplicate services during busy times. Although then again, given how capacity constrained we are in the garages, maybe not. I mean, you can put duplicates on for some of the higher work in the new DLC. So maybe that's what that is. And I wouldn't really expect duplicates on a service bus anyway, so maybe we can just discount everything I've just said there. Right. Oh, the lag is real though. Although when you zoom out, it's not too bad. The centre of Glasgow is absolute mayhem, as you would expect. But we've now got 2 new services running in the northern suburbs. Isn't that beautiful? So, I'm going to return to the garage and say that I will see you next week from National Busways West Scotland in Glasgow. Bye bye.